שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. נה 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 נה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. נה 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 נה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Whoa, let's try that again. Ready? Shabbat Shalom. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Good morning, good morning. Couple words as we get started. If you have a special reading, if you're leading a prayer through a reading, you have copies over on this table over here. You can also use your prayer book, and you'll come right up here to the choir mic and stand right here and look at Dylan and do your reading, do your responsive congregational reading. If you have an aliyah, of course, you come on up and we'll call you up by name. I'd ask that everybody turn off your cell phones and still your Apple Watches. That way you don't get the call in the middle of the service. And my rule is if you get a call in the service, I answer it, which is fun for everybody. Okay? So please take a second and turn off your cell phones. If you look around you, behind you, and to the sides, and behind me, you'll see exit signs. It's good to know how to get out quickly if we need to. I ask that nobody take pictures during the service. And if you reach under your seat, go ahead, everybody do the reach under your seat. You're going to find this black siddur, this black prayer book. Okay? Take it on out. The black prayer book. This is what we're going to be utilizing. Not the big blue prayer book, a black one. There you go. You got it. You got it. So go reach under. You may have to fish around. So, if you open to almost any page in your prayer book, you're going to find Hebrew on the right, transliteration on the left, and translation in the middle. Meaning that this is accessible to everybody, despite your minhag, or whether you're Jewish or not, that everybody ought to be able to participate in some way. So sometimes it's the tunes to the prayers may be different, or the Hebrew may be a barrier, but everybody can clap and snap and tap, right? Or la la la. God understands la 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 just fine. And the whole point is that we all are a mirror. And Dylan is a mirror, and his energy is going to come out to you, and you've got to send it back to him. Okay? That's very important. And then it reflects back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Dylan, this morning you're going to be leading us in prayer, which is a very big deal. And as we talked about, the objective is not perfection. Right? The objective is, and this is not just for him, for everybody, can we connect to something bigger than ourselves in the next 90 minutes? To your ancestors, to the Torah, God, soul. Okay? That's the objective. Can we be present enough and open enough to receive? So, we have soloist Jessica Tillin. I'm Rabbi Spike Anderson. I think everybody knows Dylan Cohen. Take a moment or two. Turn to the people around you. Hi, my name is. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you since last night. Ask me about my cat. But really, turn around, turn to the people in front of you. Tap somebody. Hey, good morning, Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to see you. Please, take a moment. Take a full moment. umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Na 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 na. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya na na na. So Dylan, we talked about the different signposts along the way of your rite of passage, and that's what the bar mitzvah is, a rite of passage, one of which is Jewish clothing. And the Jewish clothing, the Jewish adult clothing that we have is the tallis. And it's an outward sign of you transitioning in the next 90 minutes before our eyes, shazam, from a kid into a young man. And so to present you with your tallis and offer some words, we're going to call up Norman and Diane Cohen. Grandparents, come on up. Now, as they're making their way up, Norman and Diane, you and your family literally helped build this synagogue. These steps you're walking up, the sanctuary, everything. The Amud. This must be such a wonderful thing to be here in the place that you and your family literally built, presenting your grandson with this tallis on this amazing sacred occasion. And so, I'm going to have you're going to read these first, and then we'll present.
As this talit is draped around your shoulders, may the voices of the generations speak to you. May you know that there is a people, a rich heritage to which you belong, a sacred place from which you are connected to all who dwell on earth.
As you are embraced in the folds of this talit, so too are you wrapped in the loving embrace of your family, community, and this holy congregation. May this simplest of garments always be for you a symbol of God's abiding and sheltering presence. As you recite the blessing and wrap yourself in this talit, we proudly watch and celebrate with you as you accept your place in the chain of our tradition.
Wonderful. Okay, now you're going to read the blessing right here, Dylan.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatev b'tzitzit.
And we say amen. Okay, and you're going to take talit just as it is, turn around, you drape it around his shoulders. Okay, arms come to the outside. Okay, stand up here for a moment if you would, put arms around him. Friends, we know that family and community comes together for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes those reasons are sad. This one, super happy. Super happy. And we Jews, when we know we're experiencing a certain type of time, we pray Shehechianu, which you'll find on page 4. Literally, thank you, God, for this moment in time that we're here and together, and may we have this type of holiness, this type of connection, again and again and again. Please join us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Hug and a kiss. Okay. Dylan, will you lead us, please, on page 5?
God be with me on this occasion as I come bar mitzvah. Help me make meaningful the covenant you now establish with me. Sustain me with a sense of holiness. Inspire in me a desire to be special. I do not ask that you make my life easy, resolve my problems, or map out the directions of my life. I ask only that you strengthen within me the desire to mold and shape my life in accordance with your will. In this hour of my bar mitzvah, I invoke your blessings upon my parents and friends and all who have loved and cared for me, all who have brought me to this time of gladness. Give them joy and fulfillment in my growth and my achievement. You who turn the hearts of children to their parents and the hearts of parents to their children.
Beautiful. Okay, and on page 6, you're going to lead us responsively. So, Dylan, you're going to read the bold part, and we all are going to respond with the italicized part.
May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship.
Together, may it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit indifference, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. In a moment, Dylan's going to lead us starting on page 8 with Nisim B'chol Yom, our daily blessings. And you'll see each time that he finishes one of the blessings, we all respond, Amen. Each one of the blessings is supposed to be taken both literally and figuratively. So when we thank God for opening up the eyes of the blind, on one hand it may be thank God for medical technology that allows that type of thing to happen, sometimes more and more, but also figuratively, that sometimes it takes a miracle to have those around us, or maybe us, open our eyes because we're blind to what goes on around us. Every single one of these is supposed to be literal and figurative. So as Dylan is going through and leading us, I want you to pick out which one of these has your name on it this morning. Which one calls to you this morning, as if I may walk around with a microphone and call on you afterwards to share which one is most important to you and why. You're fair warned. Page 8.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nata lesavivina lechavin ben yom uven laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokev kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokat haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamehin mitzaveh gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten leyaev koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir shena me'enai utnuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben horim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. Okay, take a moment and look back over the 2 pages we just went through and find which one of those most speaks to you this morning. Most speaks to you this morning. Which one has your name on it? Who'd like to share? I love how eyes start turning away from me as I walk forward. Great. Okay. Wendy, pass that on down to Wendy.
Hi there. I like the one on page 9 that says, "Who strengthens our steps," because I'm real happy that we're all taking steps today.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes it's beyond sort of what we can do ourselves, right? We can tap into something bigger to help us beyond our own reserves. Others, what's interesting to you this morning? What's calling your name, Ben?
A similar one, which is who gives strength to the weary, as I think about my law partner, and he's got a child who's going through some health issues, and it saps the child's strength, but it also saps his strength, and his ability to get up and get through that is what I'm thinking about.
So how does he tap into something? How can we, any of us, tap into something beyond ourselves when it seems more than we can handle?
Exactly.
Beautiful. Others, what's calling you? Something calling you this morning? Pass it on down. Just share your name, okay?
Samantha,
Hi, Samantha.
who made me free. Just being in this beautiful world, this beautiful place in Atlanta, and free from maybe some of the greed and the image and the pride and all of that, to just love God and love family first.
Yeah,
and not get
beautiful.
wrapped up in all that.
Beautiful. And, you know, we've created a space for ourselves, okay, where it's been created for us that at least in this moment we can be free from a lot of that. There's something freeing about Shabbat and place and time. Others. Great, I'm coming over. Oh, good. Share your name, Lynn.
Lynn Newport here. Third one down. Who opens the eyes of the blind? I mean that not figuratively, but rhetorically.
Okay.
That so many people look, but they don't see.
Yeah. So what does it take? Sometimes it takes a miracle for that to happen. I'll make my way down. Signal me if you want to share. Yep, I see you in the front. Comment. Okay. Yes, young man. Tell us who you are.
I'm Adam, and
Hi,
on
Adam.
page 10, it says, "Who has made me a Jew?"
Yeah.
And I think that because I'm really grateful to be here today, and I'm here because I'm a Jew.
Yeah, we are. And grateful also that we, you know, being in this country at this time as a Jew, not to say that there aren't some problems, but it is as good as it's ever been for us right now to be able to do this freely, openly, and joyously.
Who made me in the image of God? I'm thinking about...
Wait, tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm Diane Cohen,
Yeah.
grandmother of the bar mitzvah boy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the conscience that we have when we think of ourselves in the image of God, and always trying to do what's right, not necessarily because we're going to get credit for it or recognition, but because it's right and it makes us feel good to uphold our values.
Beautiful, right? I mean, part of our sacred story is God breathed the soul into us, Jews, non-Jews, everybody. We've got a piece of soul inside us, a piece of God. And what would it be like to interact with other people, keeping that in mind, that they are also, they're created B'Tselem Elohim, with the image of God. And how would we treat ourselves if we kept that in mind? Very good. Okay. Okay, tell us your name.
My name is Gaga.
Hi. Which one? Oh, you're the same one together?
My name is Lizzie, and on page 8, it's who frees the captive, because Passover is coming.
Passover's coming, right? And it's the celebration of us being freed and keeping in mind that there are other people who need help also, right? Beautiful. Boy, wish we could bottle that up. Okay. Any others? Others? My friends, their eyes are starting to turn away as I come towards them. One back here. Hi, Mara. Back here? Okay. I think last one, unless somebody arm wrestles me for it. Okay, tell us who you are.
I'm David Oppenheim, great uncle.
Hi, David.
And who crowns Israel, who girds Israel with strength, which is a beacon of hope and democracy and fairness in the Mideast, which is not a lot of that.
Yeah. And we hope that they have the strength to do what they need to do and that we can be helpful in it. All right, everybody, good job, good job. That was good sharing. So we're gonna move forward with our service. And Dylan, you're gonna lead us in Ashrei on page 11. Ashrei is the prayer of gratitude. So as we're praying this, and will the congregation do every other line, keep in mind, what do you have in your life that you are truly grateful for on this day? Whenever you're ready.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, o yehailucha, Selah.
Ashrei ha'am shechachalo, Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav.
Tehillah leDavid, aromim ha'Elohai ha'melech, v'aracha shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Bechol yom avarchecha, v'ala shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umhula me'od, ve'lig du'ato ein heker.
Dor l'dor l'shabach ma'asecha, uvratecha yagidu.
Hadar kevod hodecha, v'divrei nifotecha asicha.
Azor noratecha yomeru, ugdalatecha al saprana.
Zeherav tuvecha yabiu, v'tzidkatecha yeranenu.
Hanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ugdal chesed.
Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav.
Yaduch Adonai kol maasecha, v'asidecha v'yerachucha.
Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugvuratecha yadaberu.
V'hodea livnei ha'adam v'gavortov, ukvod hadar malchuto.
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor.
Somech Adonai l'chol hanoflim, v'zokef l'chol hachechufim.
Einecho elecha yasaberu, ve'ata noten lehem et ocham be'ito.
Poteach et yadecha, umasbiach l'chol chayratzon.
Sadik Adonai bechol derachav, ve'chasid bechol ma'asav.
Karov Adonai l'chol karav, l'chol asher yakrachu be'emet.
Ritzon nirav ya'aseh, ve'et shavatam yishma v'yoshiem.
Shomer Adonai kol ha'avav, ve'el kol hashim mashmid.
Tehillat Adonai yedaber pi, v'varech kol basar shem kodshot le'olam va'ed.
Ve'anachnu nevarecha, me'atad v'ad olam. Hallelujah. Okay, we are warmed up. Let's rise for Baruch Hu on page 15.
Yai nai 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 nai.
Yai nai 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 nai.
Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach. Hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
So, Dylan, in a moment you'll lead us on page 16 with Yotzer Or. And Yotzer Or is the prayer that confirms, one, thanks God for creation. That's a big, heady concept. The second is thanks that we have a chance to wake up each morning, each day, and to recreate ourselves and our lives around us, our families, our homes, our environments. We can choose how we're going to walk through the world by how we think, what we say, how we act, how we interact. Choices of who we want to be each morning and what we want to put out into the world around us, that we're not locked in to yesterday or yesteryear, that each day with each light is a chance to begin anew. Will you lead us on page 16, Dylan?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei choshe oseh shalom uvarei et hakol hama'ir la'aretz v'la'adarim alecha barachamim uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechol ma'asita mala ha'aretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al sheva ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yefarucha selah or chadash al Sion ta'ir v'nizkeh kulanu mehera la'oro Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'oro.
Amen, amen. And on page 18, you'll see our Ahava Rabbah, God's deep love for us. And if you think about all the people who are in your life and who love you, and actually you can take kind of a look around and you can see the people who are a part of your life, who love you and who support you and are here, that somewhere in that list of people who are part of you, or entities, God comes into the play, whether first, last, or in the middle. The other piece about this that I really like is it encompasses enough for all of us, right? So Nancy and Brad, you've got two wonderful boys. They're both very different from each other, right? They're not the same person. And for each of them, you have eternal love for them, to the moon and back and beyond. So the love for one doesn't take away from the love from the other. You have more than enough to go around. And that's the metaphor the rabbis use for how the divine interacts with each one of us. Plenty to go around, eternal. When you're ready, please lead us, Dylan.
Ahava Rabbah Avtanu Adonai Eloheinu Hem la gedola v'teira hamalta aleinu Ba'avor avotenu v'imotenu shabbatu vecha Vatlamdem huke hayim kain techonenu utlamdenu Hamrahem rahem aleinu Vetain belibenu lehavin v'haskil lishmoach liomod ulamed lishmor v'la'asot v'kayem et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha be'achava. Baruch atah Adonai haboher be'amo Yisrael be'achava.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're getting ready for our Shema, which you'll find on page 21. Dylan, you've probably said the Shema hundreds of times, 1,000 times. Traditionally, it's the first prayer that a Jew learns, okay? And it's typically, traditionally, the last breath prayer that a Jew will say. Almost weaves us through time again and again to the same stitch. With this Shema, you're declaring that you are here, you're leading us, and we are all part of the one. We take a nice deep breath together, and we get ready.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. On page 22, Dylan, is the V'ahavta, which is the second part of the Shema. And the V'ahavta is the prayer that is in the mezuzah. The mezuzah on the door of your house, maybe of your bedroom, synagogue. When the temple fell in 70 AD, which goes back 2,000 years, the home and the family became the most sacred space in Judaism. It's not the synagogue, it's the Jewish house. And so this mezuzah on the door is supposed to remind us that when we come into a home, we're supposed to bring our best self, and not sort of have what's left over from our day or our work week to give to the people who are inside. We bring the very best of who we are to the people in the home, those whom we love and love us the most. Will you lead us in Via Dylan on page 22?
Et
Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'lechtecha v'derech, u'shachbecha u'v'kumecha, u'shartam ne'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha, u'v'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'v'isharecha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem mikol mitzvotai, v'tem kiddushim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Lechem emet. I'd like to call up to our choir mic down on the floor, Hillary and Jeff Cohen, aunt and uncle, to lead us in Geulah on page 23. Together, you are in the courage with which we overcame 40 years of desert wandering. You are in the love that creates, protects, forgives. We praise you, Adonai, Redeemer of Israel. Michamocha, page 24. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, Norati lo seifele, Norati lo seifele. Rise now for our Amidah on page 26, our standing prayer. And Dylan, as we do, remember that this standing prayer, we're invoking the names of our forefathers and foremothers as we come into it. In other words, this isn't a cold call to the divine. We're reminding the divine and ourselves that we've got what's called a yichus, connection, going back to parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great. This is a welcomed and expected call. Page 26 for our Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol V'Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rab Le'Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Gevurot, Umidol Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol.
Leading us on page 28, Uncle Lee Lazarus. Come on to the choir mic right over here. There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know. There is holiness when we strive for harmony in all of our relationships. There is holiness when people seek justice and struggle for righteousness. There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us. Page 29, Kedusha.
Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marov, kakatu ayad neviyecha, v'kara ze'el ze v'amar,
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz, Kevodo.
Adir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu Madir Shimcha Bechol Haaretz,
Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo.
Echad Hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'Hu Yashmienu, V'Rachamav Le'nei Kol Chai.
Ani Adonai Elohechem, Imloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah.
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Nagiga Lecha.
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador, Nagid God Lecha, U'netzach Netzachim, Kedushat Techanakish, Kedushat Techanakish, V'shivecha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush, Le'olam, Le'olam va'ed.
Here comes your part.
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Nagiga Lecha.
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador,
Ledor Vador, Nagid God Lecha, Ki HaMelech Gadol, Gadol v'Kadosh, v'Kadosh, v'Kadosh Atah, Ki HaMelech Gadol, Gadol v'Kadosh kadosh, v'kadosh, v'kadosh ata, Baruch ata Adonai,
Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen. Page 31, Brother Adam, come on over. You're going to lead us. Okay.
From of old, the Jewish people have been Shabbat as a unique gift, a token of his covenant with God.
Shabbat is the most cherished creation of the Jewish spirit. It mirrors the essence of the Jewish soul.
Shabbat has never been merely a day of rest from labor. It has always been a break in the routine of everyday life.
Shabbat is a symbol of liberation and triumph, of the holy over the profane, of spirit over matter.
In every age, Shabbat afforded the Jew a sacred retreat, a haven of safety, a fountain of new strength and perpetual renewal.
Shabbat nurtures family life in love and harmony. A home at peace welcomes Shabbat with joy.
Shabbat is a part of nature's design, the very purpose of creation. All that was created attained its fulfillment in Shabbat.
Shabbat is our hope, the calm haven where all the weary find rest. With the coming of Shabbat, redemption and peace enter the world. Yismechu, page 31.
Yismechu
V'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat.
Yismechu
v'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat.
Makadashei, Makadashei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbu, V'yitengu Metuvecha Shabbat.
Yismechu v'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat.
Uvashmi Ratzida bo v'kidashto Shabbat, Chemdat Yamim, Oto Karata Shabbat.
Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat.
Zecher Namaseh, Namaseh Bereshit Shabbat. Zecher Namaseh, Namaseh Bereshit Shabbat.
Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei onei Shabbat. Please be seated. Looking to bring to the choir mic Sasha, Jonah, and Josh Cohen to lead us in our prayer on page 32. Nice and close. Inspire us to banish hatred, war, bloodshed, and bigotry. Help us to establish forever one human family, doing your will in love and peace. You have given us the power, O God, to bring peace and justice into the world. May we always love peace and pursue it, and love our fellow creatures. Fill us with kindness, wisdom, and love. Then shall we learn to live in peace. Okay. We're going to take a moment for silent prayer, silent reflection, silent meditation. And in that silence, what is it that you hear, and what is it that you would say? Our rabbis tell us that anytime we are together, We're obligated to pray for peace, peace amongst nations, peace amongst neighbors, peace in our own hearts. Sim Shalom, page 33.
Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim.
Sim Shalom,
Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Sim Shalom uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha.
Dylan, I'm going to have you come on up and meet your parents, Nancy and Brad, up here on the bima. Brad and Nancy, you're going to offer the prayer, which you'll find on page 36. And I have it right here for you. So this prayer is sort of a mashup from the Talmud. And these great sages, these great wise people, for the most part, were also parents. And so their wisdom comes down through the ages, the century, and the millennia to you today to offer to your son on the occasion of his bar mitzvah.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be.
May your heart be filled with intuition and your words be filled with insight. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue and your vision be on a straight path before you.
May your eyes shine with the light of holy words and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom and your fulfillment be in righteousness.
A Jewish home opens its heart and its link to the generations is proclaimed. Today, nearly grown, you are called to read from the Torah and are welcomed into the congregation. May this moment be blessed.
Hug, hug, kiss, kiss. Okay, and stay up here with us. We're going to transition to our Torah service on page 37. I'd like to invite up great aunts and uncle Suzanne Anderson, Beth Kamen, David Oppenheim, Sharon Lazarus for the Ark opening, inviting up great aunt and uncle Stuart and Lori Cohen to prepare to undress the Torah, invite grandparents up to the bima, Adele and Martin Lazarus, Norman and Diane Cohen, Alan Goldstein, inviting our Gabbai Joanne Lipschutz to come on up. Please, everybody rise. Page 38.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato.
Dylan, hello. I want you to take a moment And I want you to look around at all the people who are here because they love and support you. Go ahead, give him a wave as his eyes meet yours. Yeah, he waves back. That's the best. Dylan, in all seriousness, you and the Torah are both here for similar reasons. You're here because of decisions that have come before you. Your parents, turn around and see parents. Grandparents, turn around and look at grandparents. Behind grandma, you're going to see great-grandparents. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. And behind them, great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-great-great. And we believe that the Jewish generations are here and they are encircling this sanctuary again and again and again. And Dylan, they're smiling because of what we're doing today and who you are. It's incredible. It is a miracle that we are here. And to celebrate that, we pass the Torah down through the chain of tradition. You can give it a little hug or touch, whatever you like. Okay, who's passing Torah? Okay, so you're going to turn to face Mom. She doesn't hurt her back. There you go. Okay, stand up nice and straight, arm right around him. Okay.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Return and face the ark.
Gadlul Adonai Tiyu Maromema Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula V'Hagivura V'Hatiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hahod Ki Kol Hashamayim Uvaretz Ki Kol Hashamayim Uvaretz Lecha Adonai Hamalacha V'Amid Naseh Lechol Erosh Romimu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Romimu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romimu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romimu Yai nai 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 Yai nai 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 Yai nai 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 Yai nai 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 Yai
Nai.
Yai nai 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 Yai nai Yai nai 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 Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu
Take the yacht off.
Yai Lai
Okay, and take the top right off. Perfect. Please be seated. Thank you. Okay, as we get ready, just a quick show of hands. Raise your hand if this is your first bar or bat mitzvah ever. Okay, you picked a good one to come to. This is a good one. Raise your hand if you think you've been at 10 or fewer bar or bat mitzvahs. 10 or fewer. Okay? 100 or fewer. More than 100. More than 100. Okay. So here's what I want to convey to you, that whether this is your first one or your 101st one, what Dylan is doing and is about to do is hard. It takes tons of work and training. He is going to be chanting in the original, with no vowels, with no cantillation marks, the Torah, the Bible, in a language he doesn't speak. Takes a lot of training, a lot of work. And that's in addition, of course, to leading our service and interpreting Torah, which is what he does right after this. So it's a very, very big deal. If you reach under your seat, you'll find a big blue book that says the Torah. If you wanted to follow along, that's your book. If it says something other than the Torah, if it's the other blue book, just go back in and try again. You'll turn to page 757, 757, and you're looking for Leviticus 1:1. This is Vayikra. It's the beginning of Leviticus. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. It's the third book. Leviticus 1:1. And you can see both the Hebrew and the translation. And after we finish the chanting, the laning, Dylan will do an interpretation. So for our first Aliyah, we have grandparents Adele Lazarus and Martin Lazarus. Ya'amdu Yehudit bat Eteleah ve'Michul ben Moshe la'alot leTorah. Okay, guys, you're going to come nice and close, and you're going to take your tallis. Dylan, put your hand right there. Okay, tallis, touch and kiss right at the beginning, right there. Excellent. Okay. Bring this over. Hold on to your yad. Okay. When you're ready.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Asher Bochar Banu Mikol Hamim V'Natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikra El Moshe Vaydaber Adonai Elav Mehel Moed Lemor Daber El Bnei Yisrael Ve'amarta Alehem Adam Ki Yakriv Mikem Korban Ladonai Min Habheman Min Habakar Umin Hatzom Takrivu et Korban Ham Imola Korbano Min Habakar Zahar Tamim Yakrivenu El Petach Ohel Moed Yakriv Otel Lirtono Lifnei Adonai.
Beautiful. Okay. Seat, touch, and kiss. And when you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam notah b'sochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen. Give him a little squeeze. And for our second Aliyah, we're calling up grandparents Norman Cohen, Diane Cohen, Ellen Goldstein, Ya'amdu, Nachman Ben Chaim, Devorah Sarah Bat Shmuel, Halevi Rachalea, Mina Miriam Bat Shalom Ashar La'alot LeTorah. Nice and close. Baruch Hu when you're ready. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'habanu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Put your hand right here.
Amen. V'samach yado. Oh, Rosh Ha'olah, v'nirtzah lo, l'chaper Allah. V'shahah ben habakar, lifnei Adonai, v'higrivu, v'nei Aharon, hakohanim, et hadam, v'zarku et hadam, al hamizbeah saviv, asher petach ohel moed, v'hifshi et ha'olah, v'nitach otah, lintahecha.
Beautiful. Okay, tell us, touch and kiss right there. And when you are ready.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'hayei olam notah b'tokenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Go ahead, give him a little hug and a kiss. For our third Aliyah, we call up proud parents Nancy and Brad Cohen, Ya'amdu, Rivka bat Muchal ve'Yehudit, Freda ben Nachman, La'alot leTorah. Okay, take your tallis. I want you to touch and kiss right there. I'm going to hand you a microphone.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Nancy, hang on to it right there, please.
Amen. V'natanu b'nei Aharon hakohen esh al hamizbeach v'archu eitzim al ha'esh v'archu b'nei Aharon hakohanim et hantahim et harosh et hapader al ha'eitzim asher al ha'esh Asher al hamizbeach, v'kirbo u'krav yirhatz b'mayim, v'hiktir hakohen et hakol hamizbeach, olah yishereach nichoach l'Adonai.
Beautiful. Seat, touch and kiss.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. All right, give him a handshake and a hug and a kiss. All right, and Dylan, I'm going to have you come have a seat just for a moment. Don't get too comfortable because I'm having you sit down just so I can ask you to stand up again. So in a moment, we're going to call you up for your maftir for the final portion of your Torah chanting today. And up until now, others have gotten credit for your reading. That's just the way life works sometimes. But now, for the first time, you're going to get credit as a Jewish man. This is the moment that you become bar mitzvah. The aliyah is a word that implies a ascent, okay? And in this case, that's why we're having you sit, so you can physically ascend up to the Torah. but it's also considered to be a spiritual ascent. That in this moment, when we call you up, you literally come up to a higher spiritual plane as you say the blessings and chant Torah. Are you ready? Okay, come on up. Yamod Yamod Doram ben Frida ve'Rivka la'alot leTorah. So you take your seat. Touch and kiss, first word. Okay, when you're ready.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Okay.
Ve'im min hatzon korbano min hakesavim o min ha'ezim le'olah zahar tamim yakrivenu v'shachatotoch al yerech hamizbeach safona livnei Adonai v'zareku b'nei Aharon HaKohanim et Damo al HaMizbeach saviv v'nitach otoch lintahav ve'et rosho ve'et pidro v'rach HaKohen otam al ha'etzim asher al ha'esh asher al HaMizbeach.
Beautiful, beautiful. Touch and kiss with seat. Okay, well done. Blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Okay, I'm going to ask Mom and Dad to come right behind Dylan and put a hand on his shoulder. I'm going to ask everyone to rise. And Dylan, with the open Torah, we're going to say a special Misha Barak for you for your continued spiritual growth. The hope is that today serves as a spiritual cornerstone for you, Dylan. Okay, to push off of to wherever you're going to go, but also to always find your way back to. So we'll do it in Hebrew and then in English. Mishaberach Avatenu Vimotenu, Avraham Yitzchak v'Yakov, Sarah Rivka Rechav Leah, Huvi Avarech, Et, the Rowan ben Freda v'Rivka, Shehagia lemitzvot la'ala Torah, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Yismerehu v'chayehu, v'chanan et libo, L'yot shalem im Adonai Elohav, L'go b'torato le'lecha b'drachav, le'bishmor mitzvotav, v'yimsechen, v'seichel tov, B'nei Elohim v'adam v'nomar, Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you, Dylan, who's come up for an aliyah upon the age of mitzvot. May the Holy One guard you and sustain you, helping you to be wholehearted in your faith, studying God's Torah, walking in God's ways, and fulfilling God's mitzvot. May you find favor before God and all people, and we say, Amen. Okay, remain standing for Hagba and Galila. I'd like to invite up Stuart and Laurie Cohen to address the Torah, and we continue on page 42. Keep standing, yeah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאללה לי 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 לי. Yai lai 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 lai, ya nai 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 nai. Ya la nai 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 nai. Ya nai 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 nai. Ya nai 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 nai.
Checking out your Dvar Torah. So, the interpretation or Dvar Torah is the piece where we hear about your studies, how you delved into this one piece of the Jewish story, the takeaways that you got and that you think we ought to get, meaning the reason we're studying this text over and over again, year after year, whenever you're ready.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion, Parshat Vayikra, describes 5 types of sacrifices offered in the temple. What is a sacrifice? In Torah times, sacrifice is slaughtering an animal or giving up a possession as an offering to God. People may feel the need to sacrifice something because they did something wrong and need to be forgiven by God. The offering starts with a male animal from their cattle to give to God. A sheep, bull, ram, and goat all have a similar offering ritual. They will slaughter the animal, then Aaron and his sons get the token portion, and then the priest will offer the blood by rubbing on all sides of the altar at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Then the offering is filleted and cut into different sections. With these sections, they are laid out onto the wood that is on the fire. Then the entrails and legs are washed and turned into smoke as a pleasing odor for God. For turtle doves and pigeons, the priest will bring it to the altar, pinch its head off, remove the crop, and cast it into the place of ashes. The priest tears off the wings without serving it and turns it into smoke. Disgusting. When I first read this, I was like, what is this? I was a little confused at first, and it makes more sense now, but still really weird. According to Torah, God does want us to spend time, energy, and money in order to be closer with God. In today's world, Jews don't make animal sacrifices, but in the early days of Judaism, sacrifices were the main way to connect with God. The smoke from the burning animal connected God to the people on the ground. Your sacrifice must be valuable to you, or else you're not really sacrificing. An animal can be sold for lots of money and can give you food, but the main reason that you have to kill the animal. And I think that it is really sad to kill an animal, an innocent animal thing, because they did nothing wrong and you have to take their life. The sacrifice did not have to be expensive, because our Jewish ancestors had the sacrifice system so everyone can participate. If you can't bring a big animal, bring a bird. If you can't do that, you bring flour. In 70 AD, in the war with Rome, Jerusalem was destroyed as well as all the temple inside. The Jews no longer had anywhere to sacrifice to God. The rabbis decided that the new way of becoming closer with God is by prayer and mitzvot, and that is how we became the primary way to become closer with God today. Our views of God have changed over time because we would no longer give and sacrifice an animal to God because that would not fit modern day culture. Just like when you grow up and things change in society, Judaism culture adapts as it gets older as well. Back then, someone might have thought of a God as a person who controls the world and is almighty ruler. Now the person may have a more spiritual view and connection with God. When I was 6, I believed God was a human being that was the ruler of everything. Now I believe God is a leader of the Jewish people who brought us out of Egypt through Moses. Classically, our sages taught God was all-powerful, all-knowing, and by definition, good. But I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that God is all good because there's so much pain and suffering in the world. In the Torah, why did it take hundreds of years to take us out of slavery? Or in modern times, why did God do nothing to help us during the Holocaust? In our biggest time of need, where was our modern splitting of the Red Sea? I appreciate that Judaism allows me to voice this type of doubt and concern about God. I hope that my time understanding of God continues to evolve. One man, one out, man on third. What is the batter trying to do? Score the runner, but how? By hitting a fly ball to the outfield, let him catch it, and the runner scores. Sacrifices in baseball are sort of like sacrifices in the Torah. The batter may get out, but the team scores. In today's world, a sacrifice may be someone on social media who makes an anti-Semitic post and nobody wants to say anything about it. Then, one person responds and fights back because they know that it is wrong. They'll get backlash and there will be people who no longer like them, but the whole Jewish community will feel stronger and more united to stand up for each other. I think a cause in the world we need to make sacrifices for is world hunger. World hunger is a serious problem throughout the world. Many people don't get to eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner every day. That is why I volunteered at the Zaven Parity Center, which feeds and houses homeless couples for free for 90 days. The center helps the residents with getting a job and getting back on their feet. The Zaven Center helps a ton of people each year solving homelessness and world hunger. Even after all of that, I didn't think I should be done helping, so I decided to make a video and raise money for toiletries to give to the center. In total, I raised $450, and with that money, I bought shampoo, body wash, deodorant, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. This was a very big help to the center, because not only do they have residents living there, on some days they have anyone who needs food, water, or needs to wash their clothes can come in during lunch to take a shower and brush their teeth. Becoming bar mitzvah is an important milestone to me. After years of Sunday school services and all the other good stuff, I'm finally becoming a Jewish adult. This does not mean I'm done with Hebrew or Judaism. This is just the start of a new chapter as a Jewish adult doing Judaism. Moving forward, I will become a Madrahim here at Sunday school and still be going to temple as often as I can. Being a Reformed Zionist means I have to speak out against anti-Semitism and support Israel whenever I can. I'm really excited to actually be going to Israel with Temple Emanu-El after my confirmation year. I want to continue volunteering at the Zaben House and keep helping around my city as a Jewish adult. Thank you to all my friends and family here today that have helped me on my journey. First off, I want to thank my mom. Mom, during any of my games, no matter how loud it gets, I can always hear you cheering me on. Thank you for helping me with schoolwork and hanging out with me, Mom. I love you. Dad, thank you for letting me get a taste of the food off the griddle before anyone else, help you cook, go play baseball, and have the best handshake. Dad, you're the best dad ever. I love you. Adam, thank you for being the best brother ever. Thank you all for always being a good brother and my right-hand man. Grandma Diane and Grandpa Norm, thank you for all the things you have done in my life. The trip to Jamaica was awesome. We will definitely have to do something like that again. Thank you for showing me how to make vases and learn about stocks. I appreciate it. Grandma Dale and Grandpa Martin, thank you so much for all the times we go to Dunkin' Donuts, Thumbs Up Diner, and Benihana. We know that breaks the bank. Grandpa, every time you come into town, I always check the refrigerator for lettuce. Gammy, thank you for being such an amazing grandma. The time we went to Stony River will be something we will never forget. It is so much fun every time we go to see you in St. Louis and go to Rabbi Rachel and Joanne, thank you so much for teaching my Kippur prayers to my Torah portion of Haftorah. Rabbi Spike, thank you for helping me create the best of our Torah and leading the service with me. Also, thank you, Jessica, our cantorial soloist, who sings and creates a great atmosphere in the sanctuary. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I can't wait to see you all tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So I don't think that there's any doubt that we just heard from a young man, soft-spoken, but very, very deep, who can bring up the idea of how does evil exist in the world and doubting that God is good as part of his bar mitzvah. And Judaism allows you to do that, and you've got the chutzpah to bring that up, and I really appreciate that. I think we all do. Okay, friends, Haftorah, your blessings are on page 42 and 43. And to continue with the deep part of it, you find Haftorah that we're chanting from 1 Kings on page 55 of your Siddur. This particular one sets the stage for God and Elijah, that God puts Elijah into the cleft of the rock, and down comes a storm, hurricane, tornado, a great earthquake. And it says that God wasn't in the noise or the storm, the volcano, the earthquake, but in the still silence right after. And in that still silence, that silent voice, Elijah is asked the question, "Why are you here, Elijah?" It's the question we may all ask, especially after something tremendous in that still, small silence. When you're ready, blessings on page 42.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar binvim tovim v'ratzah v'divrem hana'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah u'Moshe avdo v'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'eh ha'emet v'tzedek v'yomer tzeh ve'amadeta v'har livnei Adonai v'hinei Adonai over ve'ruach gedolah ve'chazak ve'fareg harim u'meshaber selayim livnei Adonai lo v'ruach Adonai ve'ahar haruach rash lo v'rash Adonai ve'ahar harash esh lo va'esh Adonai ve'ahar ha'esh kol demama daka va'yehi kishmoach Eliyahu va'yalet panav v'ardarto va'yetzeh va'yamod petah hama'ara ve'hinei lav kol va'yomer maleha v'Eliyahu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'olamim tzaddik b'chol ha'da'orot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shekol derav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha v'limnuha lechavod u'tifaret al kol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Baruch Shemo.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Okay, everybody, please rise. Page 45 for Eitz Chaim. Inviting up Adam Cohen, Jackson Harmon, Louis Coperman, Madison Flaherty, and Josh Cohen to open the Ark. Okay, come to either side.
Eitz
Ready?
Chaim
Come to this
hi
side. Okay, let's open the Ark. Go ahead. Okay, we're going to face the Ark. Right front and center.
Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu
We're going to close the Ark. Please be seated. come right up here with us. Good job. Okay, so Dylan, magnificent job. Leading the service, such a big deal. Chanting Torah, chanting Haftorah, interpreting Torah with your Devar Torah. And now you get to be here in front of the Ark, under the Ner Tamid, surrounded by the flags of our two homes, surrounded by community, almost like the stage has been set for you to come right here at this moment, right now, and not just in this place, but time, how much history had to happen for you to be able to be right here, right now. So we've said this before at Temple Emanu-El, of all the things we get to do as rabbis and prayer leaders, including high holidays and ruckus Friday nights and weddings, our most favorite thing is what we've been doing together the last couple months, which is getting to know each other at a deep level, and we got deep very quickly, and learning what's called Torah Lishma, Torah for the sake of higher thought and higher thinking. Now, something I'm sure all your friends and family know that you're smart and you're athletic, but what's hard to tell sometimes with people, just because it's hard to get below the surface, is depth. And you are very deep. And that's not something we can teach you. You either are or you aren't. And you are. And right away, you were able to get right below the surface of your Torah portion. You did a great job of listing out part of the sacrifice and how the blood flows and pinching off the neck of the turtle dove. And I love your comment, disgusting. It is, but then you took it right below that. Okay, what is sacrifice? The giving of something of ourselves for a higher purpose. How do we take a korban, a sacrifice, and use it to get karov, closer to the divine? And maybe it's an individual step, or reaching out to the people around us, because we can find God on a mountaintop and in community, okay, the side of the road and the quiet depths of our own heart. I love how we presented together the classic triangle, God being all good, all powerful, and all knowing. And you brought up the age-old question, what about evil? What about all the bad stuff that happens in the world? How can God be all those three things while evil exists? Beautiful. You're a theologian, right at your core. And I love that you didn't kowtow to sort of the classic answers. You didn't want a little bow tied on the end of that. You wanted to struggle. Okay, and you're still struggling and questioning, as you should. Above us is the Ner Tamid, Jacob wrestling with the angel. You know that story. The angel says, let me go, and Jacob says, I won't until you bless me. The angel says, okay, your new name is Yisrael. Yisra means struggle or wrestle, and El is God, because you have struggled with God and prevailed. You are Yisrael. We are Yisrael. You are the natural inheritor of that spiritual DNA. To struggle, to question, to challenge reality. Man, those are good qualities, Dylan. Depth, not afraid to question, the ability to go deep, the courage, the chutzpah to actually articulate, stand strong. Your example of sacrifice in your Devar Torah, if somebody's saying something anti-Semitic online, rather than just cower away, to step up even if you're going to get some flack. That's the sacrifice you're talking about. You are a quiet leader. You have real depth to you. You are a pleasure to be around. You're such a good kid. I probably said it to your parents 20 times over the course of our time together. Such a good kid. And I hope you take your strengths and your newfound momentum through bar mitzvah into the adult world, and you use it. Maybe for the Jewish people, maybe for society and all. But we need you, and we depend on you. So now, I'm going to ask everyone to rise, and we are going to offer Dylan the priestly benediction, the prayer that we have been saying to our youth at liminal moments of time since time began as we know it.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichoneka.
May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's face turn towards you, Dylan, and grant you the greatest gift of all, which you have right now. Feet on the ground, surrounded by tradition and wisdom, community, family, history, potential, a sense of wholeness, a sense of completeness, a sense of peace. And to that we say, Amen. Please be seated unless you are Brad or Nancy, and then come on up.
Shabbat Shalom. I would like to start out by thanking our family and friends from near and far for being here today to celebrate Dylan's momentous occasion with us. Dylan, I can't believe we are standing here today. Exactly 13 years ago today, on your due date, I was driving myself to the hospital because I was in labor with you. Now, why I was driving myself is another story. But 13 years ago, you were born on your due date at 6:40 p.m. From that moment on, I knew you were going to be extra special. I mean, what kid is actually born on their due date? So first of all, I want to say happy birthday to you, Dylan. Not only are you a teenager, but also a Jewish adult. I am so proud. Oh, gosh. And so proud of all the effort you have put in for today. Just like in everything you do, when you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Again, it's hard to believe that we are here today. When I think back to when you were so little and when you began speaking your first words, Daddy and I thought it would be fun to write down your words on a piece of paper to show you as you got older. They started out with words like ball, mama, dada, and truck. Pretty soon the list just got too long and we had to stop writing. Well, now, if we had to write that list, it would only be about 5 words, or maybe I should say 2 phrases. I'm hungry, and what's for dinner? But if we had to make a list of your favorite foods, the list would be too long to write, but the top 3 would be chocolate, chocolate, and chocolate. In all seriousness, Dylan, I cannot put into words how proud we are of you. While it may have taken you a few weeks to get used to riding the bus and being in full-day kindergarten, since then you have conquered each change in your life like a champ. Since you love sports so much, I'll start with this example. You have been on numerous baseball, soccer, and basketball teams over the years, some where you have a bunch of friends on the team and some that you don't. But you always join the team with confidence, give 100%, and end up with new friends no matter what the outcome of the season. When you transitioned to middle school, not only did you love the change, but have maintained straight A's, maintained new and old friendships, and even tried cross country. You were so responsible and always make sure to do your homework before your marathon Xbox sessions. I will sum things up by saying, Dylan, you are an amazing human. You are a kind, caring, smart, all-around great kid. You are a loving son, loving big brother, well, some of the time, grandson, cousin, and friend. The world is a better place with you in it, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for you. We love you.
First, we'd like to thank all of our friends and family for being here today. We appreciate you so much, and it is a great feeling to be celebrating Dylan and his amazing accomplishment with you. We also want to thank our families for helping to support the weekend's events. Dylan, today you were amazing. You have worked so hard on preparing for your bar mitzvah, and today you hit a home run. Congratulations. I remember 13 years ago, it was like yesterday. You were born and you literally changed our lives. When you entered the world, you were so alert. You were taking it all in and were a delight to be around. You were such a pleasant baby. And as you grew up, you were a good eater, enjoying things like yogurt, broccoli, and cereal. That quickly changed to steak, chicken, and desserts. You always enjoyed a good book being read to you, and that turned into you being a reader every night before you go to bed. You used to watch sports with me, and that turned into you playing baseball, basketball, and soccer. You used to play games with us like Chutes and Ladders, Candyland, and Uno, and that turned into Monopoly, chess, and Xbox. You enjoyed going to the jumpy houses, bowling, and putt-putt, and that turned into Atlanta Braves and Hawks games along with Monster Jam. We could not be prouder of you. We could not be prouder of the young man you have turned into. And when I think about you, there are 3 words that come to mind. First, commitment. You are so committed to something once you start it. It is impressive to me how you can juggle school with all your extra activities that you do. But you are committed to your academic studies, and it shows since you have always been a straight A student. Learning comes easy to you, and that is a gift. You worked so hard to become a bar mitzvah, and you were determined to learning Hebrew hours a week. You did it. Second, dedication. You are so dedicated. You are a dedicated friend to so many people. You are a dedicated brother, even though you might not always want to admit it. Your dedication shines when you put your mind to something. A prime example was your bar mitzvah. You picked a mitzvah project of feeding the homeless, and you were dedicated to the cause, going over and beyond just feeding the people, but also collecting toiletry items for them. I know that they appreciate you for that. And third, you're a mensch. In Yiddish, that means you're a good guy. And Dylan, you really are a good guy. You have always had a good head on your shoulders, and you make good choices, and you stay on the right path. This will take you far in the game of life. As you embark on adulthood, keep making good choices, and good things will come. Dylan, it has been an honor to help you prepare for your bar mitzvah. There were many nights where neither of us wanted to study, but we knew that it needed to be done, and all your hard work paid off. You should be proud of yourself, because I'm proud of you. I wish you nothing but the best in life. Thanks for being an amazing son. Cheers. Love you. Good job,
buddy. Adam, come and join us. Friends, please rise Elenu on page 46. Boys, come on, open the ark.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Close the ark. Please be seated. And family to the bema with me. Friends, we're approaching final lap of our service, page 48. You'll find the Mourner's Kaddish. Mourner's Kaddish is said as a way of honoring those who were so dear to us, who have departed at this season and time. And Dylan, we talked about how the Jewish generations are here, and on this amazing day for you and your family, we recall And imagine them here smiling with us. Stanley Goldstein, Norma Polinsky, Eileen Polinsky, Roy Lazarus, Dorothy and Edward Polinsky, Selma and Hyman Cohen, Alice and Louis Oppenheim, Sylvia and Morris Lazarus. If there are those who are here or online in the first 30 days of mourning a loved one's passing, the Shloshim period, I'd ask you to rise now so we can recognize you. And please remain standing. If you're in the first year of mourning a loved one's passing, please rise now so we can recognize you. Just remain standing. If you are commemorating the yard site, the death anniversary of a loved one's passing this Shabbat, we ask you to rise now so we can recognize you. And if it is your custom to rise in solidarity or for the 6 million who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we ask that you do so now. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 48. Yitkada v'yikada shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hiroteh, v'yamlich machuteh, v'chayechon nigomechon, v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'galav yizman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. Vita dar, vita le, vita la shmei dukudsha, barichu, la'ela meir kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'charta v'nechamata, damiram b'yama v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imru mav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen.
Shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom,
Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Okay, Cohen family, come on down. For Kiddush and Hamotzi, page 49, everybody. Dylan. Okay, Adam and Nancy and Brad, please take one each. All right. I'm going to have you pass these out. Anybody? Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. Okay. And boys, if you will take challah cover off, hold it together, take the challah cover off. Okay, here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Take a little bite. Siman tova, mazel tova, mazel tova, siman tov, siman tova, mazel tova, mazel tova, siman tov, siman tova, mazel tova, mazel tova, siman tov. Hey lanu, yehei lanu, yehei lanu, uvechol Yisrael. Yehei lanu, yehei lanu, uvechol Yisrael. Yehei lanu, yehei lanu, uvechol Yisrael. Yehei lanu, yehei lanu, Mazel tov, everybody. Shabbat shalom.